الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل إن كانت لكم الدار الآخرة عند الله خالصة من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين ولن يتمنوه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين ولتجدنهم أحرص الناس على حياة ومن الذين أشركوا يود أحدهم لو يعمر 1000 سنة وما هو بمزحزحه من العذاب أن يعمر والله بصير بما يعملون قل من كان عدوا لجبريل فإنه نزله على قلبك بإذن الله مصدقا لما بين يديه وهدى وبشرى للمؤمنين من كان عدوا لله وملائكته ورسله وجبريل وميكال فإن الله عدو للكافرين صدق الله مولانا العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu wa Manawaruhu says, Kul in kanat lakumud darul akhiratu. O my holy Prophet, say, if the abode of in hereafter exceptionally and exclusively for you in the Allahi with Allah khalisatan min dun nas with the exception of the other people fatamannaw al-mawta in kuntum sadiqin, so wish for the death if you are true, if you are sincere. وَلَنْ يَتَمَنَّوْهُ أَبَدًا بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ, and they will never wish for the death because of their previous practices, because they know what they have sent before them. Wallahu alimun bizzalimin, and Allah knows very well about the transgressors. Allah knows the transgressors very well. وَلَتَجِدَنَّهُمْ أَحْرَصَ النَّاسِ عَلَى حَيَاءٍ. O my holy Prophet, you will surely find them the most greedy, the greediest of the total people, ala haya, for the life. O my holy Prophet, you will find them the greediest of the total humanity for the life. وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا, even more greedier, even greedier than the pagans. يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ يُعَمَّرُ 1000 سَنَةً, and every one of them wishes to have the life 1000 years. وَمَا هُوَ بِمُزَحْزِحِهِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ أَن يُعَمَّرَ. And such a long life is not going to prevent them from the punishment of Allah. وَاللَّهُ بَصِيرٌ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah is very watchful of what they are doing. قُلْ مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِجِبْرِيلَ. O my holy prophet, say, whoever is enemy of Gabriel, فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. So verily he has revealed the Holy Quran on your heart with the permission of Allah. مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. When the Holy Quran is certifying, confirming, verifying بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ, what is in front of it, means the Torah and the Bible, the Injil, Gospel. Quran is confirming what is in front of it. وَهُدًى وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. When it is a proper guidance and glad tidings for the believers. مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِلَّهِ وَمَلَائِكَتِهِ وَرُسُلِهِ وَجِبْرِيلَ. And whoever is enemy of Allah and His angels and His messengers and Gabriel and Michael, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَدُوٌّ لِلْكَافِرِينَ. So verily Allah is enemy of the infidels. So this is the verbal translation of the passage I recited before you. So this is the detail of the Jewish people who were residing in Medina Tayyibah when they refused the genuineness of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and when they contradicted the identity of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam inserted in their book, then Allah explained their background from very beginning up to the end of that time, just to make the people that when a person is with bad character and his total history is full of the misdeeds and evil deeds, he should not be relied upon, because the narrative, the report of a reliable person is acceptable. Unless a person himself is acceptable, his statement is not acceptable, since from very beginning up to the end of the time they were bad character and they were concocting, distorting the text of the celestial books. Therefore Allah likes to make the Muslims understand that they are not genuine people, therefore their reports should not be relied upon, and the Muslims should be very careful about their statements. And since this was an other concept by the Jews which was misleading them, they were believing that they were the offspring of the prophets, and their lineage connects with Jacob and the other prophets. Being the offspring of the prophets, they are eligible to be put in the paradise. They are deserving person to have paradise. Allah says that even if the lineage is a reason for the facilities, for the concession in the court of Allah, as Quran says in Surah Tur, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَاتَّبَعَتْهُمْ ذُرِّيَّتُهُمْ بِإِيمَانٍ أَلْحَقْنَا بِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَمَا أَلَتْنَاهُمْ مِنْ عَمَلِهِمْ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. Those people who believed and their offsprings, their progeny, posterity, their offsprings followed them in belief, but they could not follow them in the practice. even if they are liable to be punished on account of, in the light of their personal practice, but on account of their lineage, that they are connected with the pious people, with the holy persons, on account of the holiness of their parents, their ancestors, their forefathers, they would be granted the paradise in the same class as their parents would be living. So it means that the lineage is beneficial thing. One will enjoy the facilities, the dignity, the grandeur, the splendor on the judgment day on account of their holy ancestors, as it was mentioned in Surah Tur. But in case of infidelity, all of the relationship with the holy persons are disconnected. A person who rejects the faith, he cannot take any benefit from the dignity of the pious ancestors. The pious ancestors can be benefited from by means of belief. If a person loses the game of concepts, ideology, and he has the ideology repugnant to his forefathers, he would not be eligible to share the facilities of his forefathers. So this is very minute difference which is to be observed in the light of the Holy Quran. A Muslim is duty bound to believe in the Holy Quran thoroughly, because if a person believes in one section, in one verse, and refuses the other one, so this is a kind of infidelity, as Quran refers to it. Quran says, أَفَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِبَعْضِ الْكِتَابِ وَتَكْفُرُونَ بِبَعْضِ. This accusation was made of the Jews, that they were believing in one part of their own book and they were neglecting and refuting and rejecting the other parts. So Allah says that if a person rejects any parts of the celestial book, so it is not useful for him to believe in all of the other parts of the celestial book. Celestial books are necessary to be believed in thoroughly. If a person neglects the entirety of the total book, he would not be able to get any facility or to share the facilities of his forefathers. Lineage, nasab, is beneficial, but for the people who are the orthodox, who are believing in the same belief as was believed in by their forefathers. Here the Jews were snubbed and scolded off because they were believing totally repugnant and opposite to that of their forefathers, their prophets, but yet they were expecting that they would be pardoned, they would be redeemed. Quran says if they had the same ideology and if they had been abiding by the same rules and same methodology of belief, so they would have been entitled to share the facilities of their forefathers. Since they disbelieved in the ideology and concepts of their ancestors and forefathers, therefore they are not entitled to share the facilities of their forefathers and ancestors who were the prophets. And since they were believing that the paradise was adorned and decorated only for us, whatever the case may be, however sinful we are, no matter what we have been doing, but since we are Jew, therefore we are eligible to have the paradise. Quran says, "Kul in kanat lakumud darul akhiratu indallahi khalisatan min dunin nasi wa tamannaw al maut in kuntum sadiqin." O my holy Prophet, say, if the abode of hereafter is exclusively for you with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the exception of the people, excluding the other people, So you should wish for the death. Means if you are believing that the judgment day would be a holiday for you and you would celebrate like Eid or like other functions and you would directly enter the paradise, then you should not wait for normal death. You should wish for the death, because as soon as you die, you would be granted the paradise according to your ideology. So if you are the truthful person, if you are sincere to claim like that, because when Nabi Kareem ﷺ gave the glad tidings to 10 persons who diverted their faces from Baitul Maqdis to Baitul Haram after Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him. All of the other persons sharing in the congregational prayer could not do like that, but 10 persons were there who followed Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam without any discrimination. They said, if Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam is turning on the other side, we should follow him. All of these things were granted by Allah through Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Otherwise, we were totally ignorant of the individuality of God and existence of God and one union of God. All of these ideologies and practices were taught to us by Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, we should not differentiate between any action other than other action. Whenever, wherever and however Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam does, we should do without any discrimination. So they were given the glad tidings. They were companion of the Holy Prophet. Look here, the power of Muhammad Rasulullah, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him, that they were companion. And about companions are Aimma Ahl Bayt, all of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah believe that no one of them is innocent. Innocence is speciality of the prophets. So they can commit a sin, whether the Aimma of Ahl Bayt are the companion of the Holy Prophet. So they must have done something wrong in the previous life, and it was quite possible for them to commit a sin in the coming life. In spite of all these two possibilities, Nabi Kareem ﷺ entitled them to have paradise without the accountability. The proper system of granting the paradise is to hold the accountability first, and scrutinize their practices, their ideology, and after that they are entitled to be granted the paradise. But here Nabi Kareem ﷺ, before the judgment day, before the scrutiny, before the accountability, Nabi Kareem ﷺ gave them and granted them and conferred on them the paradise. It means that Nabi Kareem ﷺ is empowered to give someone anything he likes. Just like Hazrat Rabi'a radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was serving in the night, serving Nabi Kareem ﷺ in the night, and Nabi Kareem ﷺ, overjoyed by his practice, and said, Sal Tota, O Rabi'a ibn Ka'b, you should ask me whatever you like. This is the proper time for demand. He said, As'aluka murafaqataka fil Jannah. O my Holy Prophet, I shall request you to give me your company in the paradise. Look, the intelligence of the companion of the Holy Prophet. He requested in one sentence, but that was so comprehensive that a long book can be written on this topic. He said, As'aluka means I am asking from you. You are in position to give me the paradise. And your company means without your company, paradise is not paradise according to me. The paradise can be called a paradise in your company. Therefore I ask your company in the paradise. Means when you are in paradise, I should be able to accompany you. So the question of the companion of the Holy Prophet shows that he was believing in the authority of Muhammad Rasulullah, may grace and peace of Allah be upon him. And Nabi Karim Islam, Awa Ghaira Zalik, oh, this is enough for you? Would you like anything else as well? So Nabi Karim Islam offered further bounties, but he said, "O my Holy Prophet, I am happy with this question, and this is enough for me, and I am not in position to ask anything else. This is enough." So under these circumstances, one can understand that granting of paradise is a power of the Holy Prophet. But the persons who were given the glad tidings, they would say that, "Oh Allah, we wish you to cause our death, because this is the word of trial, and the difficulties, the afflictions, the calamities, the problems, and when we die, we would be granted the paradise." Since they were fully sure that the paradise is really was granted to them, therefore they were asking for the death. But these people, Quran says, وَلَنْ يَتَمَنَّهُ أَبَدًا, they will never wish for the death, because they know what they have been doing, means their misdeeds, their evil actions are completely in front of them, and they know that they are liable to be put in the hell forever. Therefore they will never wish for it. But here there is a question whether the wish for death is lawful or unlawful. Hazrat Imam Jalaluddin Suyuti Rahmatullah Ta'ala, who died in 911 AH, he writes in his book Sharh Sudur fi Ahwal al-Mawta wal Qubur, he says that once upon a time Hazrat Umar Farooq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was seen to have said, "Oh my Allah, I request you to cause my death, to make me die." So someone was sitting beside him. He said, "Oh Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, you are the best conqueror of Islamic history, and you have made Islam a superpower in the world. So all of the powerful countries were toppled by you. The Roman Empire, the Persian Empire were toppled, and they were really invincible, but you are powerful enough to topple them." He said, "Now I am requesting my Lord to cause my death, because I am not the same Umar as was powerful, and the people were afraid of him. And when I was sitting in the east, the people of west would be would be afraid of me. But unfortunately, now I am got too old. If I sit, I cannot stand. If I am standing, I cannot sit. So I don't want to live up to that time when I destroy my honor, my prestige, my history, my services." So here the Muslim scholars conclude that if a person's life is not good for improvement of Islam, for the virtues, and he is afraid of doing something wrong, under these circumstances one has got a right to wish for death. Otherwise life is bounty of Allah. Therefore one is not allowed to ask to wish for the death. And here Quran says, if the prosperity and facilities of the judgment day are exclusively for you, and no one is going to share you, then you should wish for death if you are sincere in this claim. Quran says, وَلَن يَتَمَنَّوْهُ أَبَدًا بِمَا قَدَّمَتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ. So this is a prediction by the Holy Quran, and this is an authority for the unseen secret as well, that Holy Prophet was in position to know the unseen secret, as the challenge was made in the previous verses, in kuntum fi raybin mimma nazzalna ala abdina fa'tu bi suratin min mislihi wadu shuhada'akum. Here Quran says, if you are doubtful about the material revealed to Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so you should prepare an expression or a material or a passage comparable to this, to the Holy Quran. But here Quran says, I say before time, beforehand, that they will never ask for this one. So it was quite possible in the normal routine. One can easily understand that this is quite possible for everyone to say, I wish my death, oh Allah, cause my death, oh Allah, make me die. So it was possible, but Quran says they will never do it. It means that Quran was fully aware of their future, and before the declaration, before the announcement, it was known by Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So knowledge of the Holy Prophet was before the declaration, before the proclamation. It means that it was known first to Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. With this sense, with this meaning, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is clairvoyant, and no history offers the record that they have ever wished for the death, which means that the Quran was truthful and is truthful and will remain the truthful. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam told the companions that if the Jews had asked for the death, so none of them would have been alive in the world, but all of the Jews would have been abolished. So this was another prediction of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is concerning with the clairvoyance. Quran says, Wallahu alimun bizzalimin, and Allah knows very well the transgressors. Means the transgressors are fully known by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Means these people are Jews and they are claiming to have the celestial book, but they are really transgressors because they did not practice the contents of their book, and they have been concocting, distorting, interpolating and forging. So when a person does such a things, he cannot be included in the righteous persons. Quran says, وَلَتَجِدَنَّهُمْ أَحْرَصَ النَّاسِ عَلَى حَيَاءٍ. O my holy Prophet, you will find them the greediest community in all of the humanity. Means no one in the world can be compared with them in respect of greediness in the life. They are so greedy for the life that no one else can be equalized with them, because they think that this world is to be enjoyed. When we die, would be punished. Therefore, they don't want to die. But on the contrary, the companion of the Holy Prophet, they were seen from time to time wishing for the death. For instance, Hazrat Qadir Ayaz Rahmatullah Ta'ala, he writes in his book Kitab al-Tarifat, Ash-Shifa fi Tarif Huquq al-Mustafa, Kitab al-Shifa fi Tarif Huquq al-Mustafa, volume number 2, in the chapter of love for the Holy Prophet. He writes that when Hazrat Bilal Habshi radiyallahu anhu was about to die, his wife sat down beside him. She said, Wa hazanahu ya Bilal. "Oh Bilal, this is it very sorrowful time that you are leaving this world." Hazrat Bilal Habshi radhiyallahu anhu said, "La taquli wa hazanahu ya Bilal," but you should say wa hasanatahu ya Bilal. You should not exclaim with the sorrow, you should exclaim with the happiness. She said, no one was recorded by the human history that at the time of his death he was congratulated or he was exclaimed for with the death, with the happiness. How can I exclaim with the happiness, with the joy? No, I can not show my rejoice, because you are my beloved husband, you are very pious, and you were companion of the Holy Prophet, and you spent whole of your life in the company of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and you have been promulgating the azan for the 5 times prayer every day in front of Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. You are very lucky person, and I am also lucky person to be your wife. He said, no, you should say like that as I am telling you. He said, لِأَنِّي أَلْقَى مُحَمَّدًا وَصَحْبًا, I am going to meet with Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, means as the traditions were mentioned in Mishkat Sharif, in Muslim and Bukhari Sharif, that when a person is buried and as soon as the dust is filled up in his grave, and all of a sudden he happens to see the 2 angels with the name of Munkar and Nakir, and they begin to ask him the questions, Mar Rabbuka, who is your Lord, and Ma Dinuka, and what is your religion, and Ma Kunta Taqulu fi haqqi hazar rajul. This is identity prayed here, but identity prayed was not made about the Holy Quran or the prophetic traditions or about Allah. But when the question concerning with Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was asked, along with the question, Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam appeared here. Here one can check the ideology of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that the Holy Prophet can be present at different places at the same times. 100 of places can be occupied by Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at the same times. Because when a person dies in London, one in Manchester, one is Scotland, one in China, one is Russia, one in the other countries. So when different persons die in different countries and this procedure is adopted about everyone, it means that at the same time Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam appear in front of all of the dead bodies. But when a Muslim believes that Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will come to see me in my grave, in my shrine, so he is really very excited to see Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam with the price of his death. Hazrat Bilal Habshi says that, ask for me, wish for me the death, wish death for me, because I am not expecting, but I am sure that I will meet with Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his companions. So since he was fully sure, therefore he was not hesitating to die. Similarly, if they had been sincere in this belief that they would be granted the paradise, they would have asked for the death, but they did not do it. It means that they were bogus person and they were telling a lie. Similarly, Hazrat Ammar ibn Yasir radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he was about to die in the holy war of Siffin, in the company of Janabi Haidar Karrar, may Allah be pleased with him. So the companions were sitting around him and he was smiling. One of the companions of the Holy Prophet or any successor asked him why he was smiling. He said, since I am expecting, not only expecting, but I am sure that after a few minutes I am going to to meet with Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, I am very happy with my death. So this is the system of shore. But when they were chanting a slogan which was totally bogus, therefore they could not dare to wish for the death. Quran says, وَلَتَجِدَنَّهُمْ أَخْرَسَ النَّاسِ عَلَى حَيَاءٍ, and you will find them the greediest community in the total humanity, because if they were believing otherwise, they were believing that they are entitled to be granted the paradise, so they would not hesitate, but they would wish for the death. On the contrary, there are certain other examples of the companion of the Holy Prophet. They were interested in the death. Sirat Ibn Hisham writes, when Nabi Karim waged a war against the infidels, pagans of Mecca in the field of Uhud Sharif, there were 3 persons who were badly injured, and a person came here to provide them with the water. When he came to the first person, he said, I am not in a critical position. The second person, which is lying next to me, is in a crucial time. You should go there and provide him with the water to rescue his life. When he went there, the second person said, oh, my beloved person, I am very thankful to you, but I would like you to take this water to the next person, because he is more deserving person to be provided with the water. So when he went there, the third person, lying on the third stage, he had passed before his arrival. He came back to the second person, who was the middle person, and when he came back, he found him to have died. And then he came to the first person, he was also dead. So here most of the Muslim scholars are of the opinion that وَيُوسِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. These people were so sincere Muslim that they were preferring the other persons even if they were in need of that water. So this interpretation and this explanation is also accurate. But to be more precise, one can say that there is a system which is called irtisas. It was mentioned in Hadaya Sharif, Kitabul Janais, that when a person injured in a battlefield or in any way which is which can be named shahadat, martyrdom, if one remedy was availed to him and somebody tried to protect him from the death, so if certain medicines were used or he was taken to a hospital or bandage was also used, so any other remedy which was available was used to rescue his life and to protect his life and to restore his death. So if he dies afterwards, in fact he is a martyr, but in the eye of the law he is not murder. So therefore the system of a martyrdom would not be applied on him. Means he would be washed and he would be given the shroud and the funeral prayer would be offered at his dead body. But when a person does not take any medicine and no remedy is attempted to rescue his life or to protect his health or to restore his health, so if he avoids, so the system of martyrdom would be fully applied on his body. Means he would not be washed, he would be buried in the same clothes and the prayer would be offered on his dead body with the same blood-stained clothes. So here irtisas means to delay in the death before the martyrdom, since they were fully aware that if they were to take the water or to accept any remedy, so their life was going to be degraded. Therefore, they took interest in the death because they were fully sure that if they die, if they had died in that way, they would have been granted the paradise. So this surety and certainty shows that they were genuine people, and their religion was also truthful, and their practice was also accurate. But when a person is not wishing for the death, in spite of claiming that he is entitled to have paradise and to be put in the paradise, so if he claims like that, he should pray for, he should ask for, he should wish for the death. When he could not wish for the death, it means that his proclamation and his announcement and his claim was totally bogus. Quran says, وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا, they are even the greedier than the pagans, because pagans are not believing in the judgment day. When a person is not believing in the judgment day, he should be the greediest person in the life, because he would try to enjoy this life. And the Jews and the Christians were believing in the judgment day, and they were believing in the paradise and the hell. One would be granted the paradise for the virtues, and one would be penalized for the sins, and he would be put in the hell. So these two ways were taught by the prophets. All of the prophets were believing in the existence of the judgment day and in the existence of the paradise in the hell and the hell. So any person believing in a prophet were sure that these things are going to happen after the death. But the pagans are totally rejecting the existence of the paradise or the hell or resurrection or revival. The revival or resurrection is totally impossible according to the pagans, idolaters. So therefore they should have been the greediest society in the human society. But Quran says these Jews are greedier than the pagans as well. Means they are 2 times liar in claiming the deservation of the paradise. Quran says, يَوَدُّ أَحَدُهُمْ لَوْ يُعَمَّرُ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ. Every one of them will wish for to have 1,000 years of age. Means they would not like to die, but they would like to live 1,000 years. So long life is beneficial for the persons who are obedient to Allah. So this length and enlargement of the life is a great bounty for those people who are hale and hearty and obedient and submissive to Allah. But Quran says, وَمَا هُوَ بِمَزَخْزِهِ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ أَن يُعَمَّرَ. And this long life is not going to pay anything to him, anything to them, and this was not going to rescue them from the punishment of Allah. They were not going to be saved, to be protected against the punishment of Allah by means of this long life, because Allah is very watchful about what they do. This is the message of today in English language, and I shall pray for all of the Muslim community to have a success in the life, politically, religiously, and socially. In every respect, the Muslim should progress. May Muslim progress in all fields of the life. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ وَآخِرُ دَعْوَانَا أَنِ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى رَسُولِهِ الْكَرِيمِ وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ